JP here, and we finally got Boruto Chapter 1 2 Blue Vortex. And I gotta say, the opening chapter was pretty much a banger, in my opinion. Like, the designs of all the characters, I think were phenomenal. The only character I would say that is kind of weird to me is Team 10. I believe that's a Chikacho. She didn't look very bizarre. But Chocho looked fine. But regardless, I think this chapter was pretty awesome. Seeing how even if someone like Sarda, like she still looks like a badass despite this time away from not being the captain of Team Seven anymore. She doesn't have a mentor like her father. She doesn't have a brother like Boruto to keep her going because she was alone during all this time. But yet she still finds the nerve to be disrespectful against Shikamaru for good reason. Because she knows the truth. Shikamaru and the others are. Not necessarily their fault. They're just being really stubborn about what the truth is to them. And I just find that so interesting how someone like Shikamaru is trying to step up to being the role of Konoha. Like he even recognizes, even if Boruto was not the traitor, he doesn't have the flexibility to commit everyone in the entire village. Like he doesn't have that capability to. It's just not realistic. And for Shikamaru, I can't necessarily blame him because this affects everyone, not just him. That it's not up to his, it's not his own personal decision that he can make in a snap of a second. And what I find so interesting is, well, this is very similar to OG Naruto, where we see Naruto disappear for the time skip, training with Jiraiya, Sasuke training with Orochimaru. Then we see Sakura, she's stuck in the village, training with Tsunade, and it's a similar situation here. I would even wonder how does Sakura feel knowing that Naruto is dead, seemingly, and that had disappeared apparently for 2 years. For 2 or 4 years, and without saying a word. Like, it does make me wonder what her own feeling about this, her being abandoned once again. Because it is kind of depressing seeing how these people are having to witness their loved ones die or loved ones just disappear. Because Sakura had already been to enough with Sake, and now we have to see someone like Sarda who has to witness all her friends just attacking Boruto. It's kind of just does suck to see how Boruto is still getting shafted even after time skip, even after the 4 year time skip. They still believe that Boruto did it because it was just so interesting to me that initially there was some doubts on how come Kawaki doesn't have Momoshiki anymore, or how did what happened to the scar or whatever, and seemingly all those doubt just went away. Nobody questioned what happened to Momoshiki, which is so weird to me. Like, because Momoshiki is such an important character, and he's just not gonna magically vanish like that. Wouldn't that be a major red flag in your own memories? Like, even like someone like Sasuke questioned it. Granted, that was with the help of Sarda, but he had to barely question why the possibility of the possibility of Momoshiki just being gone for good out of nowhere. It just realistically doesn't make any sense. And it's just so interesting seeing how Ida Daemon, they virtually gave up on the possibility of setting history on the right path. And it's just so interesting how they're starting to get a little bit sucked back that Samir and Sarda are the only ones that can remember the actual truth, and he's starting to wonder, is she actually charmed by her presence? And because Damon definitely looked like Damon definitely looks like he doesn't believe that. I think Ida does, but because Damon is obviously a huge sitcom, obviously a huge protector of his sister, her knight, if you will. And it's just so interesting to see what's going to happen in that possibility, because we do see that Damon is a strong fighter, but there's the other thing where we see someone in the next scene, I believe, Himawari also trained with Chocho, and we do see how in previous chapters that Damon has stated that Himawari has she's just huge prodigy seemingly. So it does make me wonder if they're gonna get to an initial fight, in this new time skip does make me wonder because she is pretty strong. I mean, despite being younger than Chocho, she still gave Chocho a decent matchup. And this is her not even like being focused because she had too much on her mind with her father seemingly being dead and her brother being gone for the village. And Kawaki, I'm assuming Kawaki's not really giving her that brotherly love because Kawaki's not necessarily he's not necessarily a social person. So Himawari kind of just been alone for the most part, and it's kind of depressing seeing how she just stuck having to wait for answers. And with Code, I just find it so awesome seeing how Code was actually just going straight to Konoha. I actually thought it was weird initially in my photos video how I thought it was weird how he did not attack Konoha sooner, but the reason because of that because Boruto is first on his hit list, and since he knew that Boruto was out of the village, he spent the entire 2 years actually looking for him, and he just could not find him. He just gave up and said, you know what, I'll just go to the village and just look for him, and torture his friends to get him to come out here. And it's just so hilarious the fact that like he's been looking all this time and yet still couldn't find Boruto, but yet seemingly he somehow got a guard despite not finding Boruto, Kawaki, or any other powerful threats. It does make me wonder how he actually got that guard in the first place, because that's very bizarre. If you didn't fight an Asuki, or a Kage level opponent, how in the world did you manage to get that card? It's very interesting to me. Okay, even someone like Damon wasn't that ruthless to give someone like Code a card, and Damon was way stronger than Code. So this made me wonder how Code actually end up at that point. And Boruto's entrance, like the fact that like he just casually just stepped on his foot, on his face, it was just so hilarious. Saying that's the kind of thing that creeps girls out, and basically call him a pervert. And it was just so hilarious how even to this day, like I know I keep saying it, but Code constantly gets disrespected by everyone, even by Kawaki, Code, Damon, Ida, etc. Literally, it's an even playing field for everyone that wants to shit talk on Code. And that's why I find pretty hilarious. I don't really take Code too seriously these days because the Ten Tails, that's not necessarily breaking territory, especially since they just fought in Ten Tails like maybe 20 years ago in the Fourth Great Ninja War, and that's not necessarily going to be too difficult to fight off, like especially when they have the likes of Rock Lee, Konohamaru, Shikamaru, and the others who actually know how to defend against a threat that big. So I do wonder what his actual end game is. And seeing the final conclusion with Boruto and Kawaki actually facing off against each other, because Kawaki he's been ready for this face off no matter what. He's been training. Obviously, he's been training because now he has the ability to fly. So it's just so awesome seeing how this face off is gonna go and how their newfound powers and their newfound strength is gonna compare to the past. And it just makes me wonder how much closer is Kawaki to achieving the power that Ashiki once had. Because he's definitely getting up there. It does make me wonder how he is now. And it's just so interesting that we see Mickey. That Mickey it's kind of interesting how we have always seen that he said that Boruto is his son. Now it's the opposite for Kawaki. Kawaki's now his son, but it's so interesting because it does seem like he's the one who started to have doubts a little bit, and it just made me wonder how exactly this is going to play out for someone like Mickey, because that'd be so depressing seeing Mickey having to fight his own friend. Like it did happen before the time skip, but I don't think it won't happen this time skip. I don't think it's going to happen during this time skip. I'd be surprised if it did. I think Mickey's going to slowly figure it out and actually be like a double agent or whatever. Actually, betray Kawaki or something like that. That's what I can see definitely being the possibility. I think this chapter was a great opener. Like I said before, it was a actual new fresh start, especially with the name, the design, and actually, it's a full action-packed chapter, and they pulled no stop easily. A better opener than the beginning of Naruto Shippuden, where Naruto just the first episode of Naruto Shippuden, or the first chapter of Naruto Shippuden, it's more lighthearted and, not too much going on. Here, we get a whole buffet, and I'm actually here for it. I'm actually glad to see where this conversation is going to lead to in the next chapter next month. So you better be sure I'm going to be here for that. But regardless, let me know what your thoughts on this chapter as a whole. Let me know what your thoughts on time skip. And with that being said, I'll see you guys on the next one.